I keep hearing we. You did mention that you and Acquah.
Yeah.
How did you manage to, get that partnership going? A lot of the times we find that people, Africans, can't come together and work together. How has it been for you?
Right, so by we, in fact, on EKUMFI itself, it's not the two of us alone. We have other partners who come together to form the EKUMFI Fruits and Juices.
How many of you?
4 of us.
4 of you?
4 of us, yes. We got funding from Exim Bank through the One District, One Factory, or close to $10 million from Ghana Exim Bank to put up this facility and then work on these farms. Yeah. I'm thinking why people are not able to get these partnerships through. Maybe it's a fear factor. I'm sure people also don't get this thing that 10% of something is always better than 100% of nothing. So sometimes you need to see where you are competent in, get other competencies from other places, and then you come together to do so. But basically, some of these things should be properly documented. People get into all sorts of partnerships, there's no documentation based on trust. I did a little bit of law, and I know that anytime you have an arrangement or you are doing an agreement, whatever, there should always be a certain exit clause. There should be one reason. Any door that allows you to enter, should get you to exit. Some way, somehow. Things should be documented. So things are not documented. People go in on trust basis. We change every day. I mean, we think of doing something now. Leaving Winneba this morning, I told somebody, I'm taking the lady to the farm, introduce her to the farmers and get back. So should somebody be waiting for me based on that word? Everything has changed.
It's true.
So in our relationships, we should be thinking of some of these things. Trust that you cannot do all. So you pool your competencies together and then you will get maybe a portion of something big. It's always bigger than owning everything, 100% of nothing. So that's my advice, basically.
Tell us how many acres are here. Is this all you have?
No. Okay, so this is the Acquah farm site, EKUMFI Acquah farm site. The idea that the factory had was to have these farm sites all over the towns of EKUMFI. There are about 49 towns in EKUMFI. Presently, we are in 19 of them, but that is in our plan. Okay. We're not going to do all at a go because we're growing, harvesting, and then squeezing from this point. So if we grow all today, obviously we're not going to. So we've staggered our planting such that the factory will be, as and when the factory would need it. So here at the EKUMFI Acquah site, they've cultivated already about 65 to 70 acres of pineapple. Okay, but that is done by 20 fishermen, happily so.
It's amazing.
Yes. So these are fishermen. When we spoke to them about what we wanted to do, they said they were interested. We thought maybe we could pick them as helpers on the other side, but they said no, we want to do it by ourselves. So we put them here. They got a land. We came in with our arrangement. We got this land for them, and then they started. Some way, somehow, we saw that they were doing per capita better than most of the other places here. So we call this one our model site. This is 65 to 70 cultivated, but they have a target of doing 200. So very soon they will have to go all the way down there to do 200 acres, and that will mean each person will own about 10 acres of pineapple.
10 acres of pineapple.
An acre, that's 20,000. So 10 acres is like 200,000 fruits.
Wow.
To one person.
That's fantastic.
Sure.
And that would then meet the demand because there is a demand for it.
Sure. So we're producing so much for now because we are in year 1. Okay. So per our projection, we're doing well. But I still have a lot of calls saying, but I can't find it. Where is it? And that tells you we have to do some more. But we cannot push so much because we're doing natural. So if the pineapple is not there, it's an issue. So what we have done is to project our second year. So we've exceeded our second year projections. So we have to now keep going and going and going. Because the factory, as I mentioned, in an hour will process 10,000 fruits. That's half an acre in an hour.
In an hour?
In an hour. So 4 acres, and by 4 acres, I mean all this land that you see here will go in a day, in a single shift.
Wow.
All of that, 80,000 fruits.
That is fantastic.
Sure.
That is But one thing I must say, Acquah, I haven't seen any female farmers. All I've seen is the men. Where are the females?
There are female farmers here and on the other side as well. But because today is not a working day, we have to call them. They also, our mothers always have the bigger engagements at home.
The parties.
So
the
when you give them
funerals.
short notice,
It's true.
their appearance here is an issue. But
Yeah.
if we go to the other farm sites, you have
You have.
the women there. Yeah.
I want to see this factory. Can
Sure.
we go and see the factory?
Sure. So we're going to see our factory,
Okay.
which is sited at EKUMFI Factory.
And I've been.
This is a factory that we picked from scratch. We worked at it from scratch. We bought the land, we cleared the land, we built local content, everything there.
Wow.
Everything there. We are sited on a 50-acre land for the factory. Utilized land is around 10 to 15 acres. But we have the rest that we plan to grow pineapples all around. So that any day you come with a drone and you want to shoot, you see our factory sitting inside a pineapple farm.
That's
That's the plan.
beautiful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the art in you that's
Sure.
doing that. But
Sure.
lastly, to get the land ready for pineapples, what type of work goes into it?
Okay, so it depends on the nature of the land.
Okay.
Typically, our lands are like what you see here. They are a ticket.
Okay.
So we have the bulldozers to begin with, heavy machinery. Okay, so that is to do the weeding and then turn the soil. Okay, so we turn the soil, clear the land basically. And then the tractors will come in to do the plowing. We'll do the harrowing, and then we'll begin to do the ridges. So you notice that our pineapples are grown on ridges, so they are grown on lines.
Like lanes.
So okay, so after the harrowing basically will break down the soil as has been plowed, and then the ridging will do the ridges.
Okay.
And after the ridges, we'll do what we call the laying of the mulch. That's the plastic mulch I
Yeah.
spoke about. So they lay the mulch, and then allows for the suckers now to come in and are planted, and then the agronomic practices take over.
How long does that period take that you just said?
So because we're doing every now and then, we're doing basically in a day or two we should do. So the tractor work, the initial bulldozer work, that's about 2.5 acres in a day.
Okay.
And then the tractor work, depending on how hard or soft the soil is, etc. But in a week or two, we should be ready with the land, properly mulched, ready for planting. Let's go to the factory and then see what's happening there. Equally, it is off for today, but at least you see the kind of work and investment that we have in there.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Madame Masio. Bye-bye. With over 1.2 billion people, Africa is a large continent with a rapid economic growth, full of investment and business opportunities. It hosts numerous opportunities for entrepreneurs, businesses, and individuals. As Africa marches towards a better economic future, how do you become part of it? Who can you safely speak to? Where do you start? Think no further. Odana connects. We have identified the challenges people face in getting the right people and discovering the right opportunities in Africa. Odana Connects will be the platform where people and businesses seeking opportunities in Africa meet and connect like never before. Odana Connect. Join our waitlist for early access this summer at www.odanaconnect.com. Goober Card welcomes you to the land of gold, Ghana. The Goober Card is a unique loyalty card which gives you the opportunity to enjoy discounts of up to 40% on goods and services. You enjoy discounts of the best of hotels, amazing restaurants, beauty lounges, spas, health centers, fashion houses, and shopping centers in Ghana. The Goober Card can also be used as a prepaid Visa card with Access Bank, our partners, offering you conveniences on all payment platforms. Applications is safe, secure, and valuable. Call us or WhatsApp us on 0245 156 705. Visit www.gooberdiaspora.com. Goober Card, the best discount.
Imperial
card
Homes Ghana
in Ghana
and Great Britain has carved a niche for itself within the real estate industry as the premier provider of luxury homes in Ghana and England, with a mission to provide safe, good value, modern housing and personalized estate management services to its clients and customers. All our homes meet the Lifetime Home Standard, as well as the highest standards of engineering excellence, safety, environmental sustainability, and cost efficiency. Imperial Homes, a signature of luxury.
We project to have about 200 people working here at any given time. That's how our schedule runs. But because of the COVID protocols and the restrictions, we had to reduce the number of people who are present here at any given time. But we've made provision for that because COVID will go away. So I'll basically run you through the process, what happens here. So the pineapples will arrive here from the farm, like we mentioned, and with the proximity of the farm to the site, what we mean is that once we harvest within a given time, less than 2 hours, we should begin processing. So you have very, very, very fresh pineapples.
Okay.
Once they arrive here, they come into this pool. This is the receiving area. It does two things.
Okay.
It does the washing of the pineapples, and it also does what we call the water therapy. You know, pineapples or plants are like human beings. So once you detach them from the plant, it's like detaching it from the umbilical cord. So you need to control it a little bit, otherwise it receives some shock. So we take it through this water therapy to regulate the temperature and reduce the shock so that the brix level at which we harvested will still be maintained. So within a short while from the harvest, it comes in here into the pool. So there's this washing.
How many can go into the pool?
Okay, so quite a number. You know, it is a work in progress. Once this agitator is working, it turns and then washes the pineapples up. So every now and then, we are dumping the pineapples in and they are going up the conveyor.
Okay.
After the washing, this mechanism does the washing, turning, etc., and also pushes them up the conveyor. So this is a conveyor. This is a conveyor that is running in production. Okay. And so the pineapples are pushed towards the conveyor and they just jump on. The conveyor carries them into the factory. So our pineapples are grown by us or by our supervision, so we know the pineapples. So we select the best from the field. However, some can escape the human eye. Once it comes into this water pool, those ones that are not good for processing automatically will sink when they get into water. So all the good ones will be on top, will float. The ones that are bad will sink. However, some can equally escape even that one. So on this level, we have what we call the inspection table. Here, they are human beings here watching the pineapples as they pass.
Okay. How would you know if they don't conform?
Okay, so there are some which have had sunburns, for example, because of the sunlight. Sunburns, and they are so bad that you wouldn't want to go to squeeze it. Because what we are doing here is just squeezing, like I told you on the farm. It's just squeezing the juice out of the pineapple. So we need the best. So once we finish from the inspection table, they come into this one. This is the final bath. This is a sprinkler and water. From there, there are brushes. So we have brushes and water. Okay. So you have the pineapples, one fighting against each other, one being pushed, and these are turning and rubbing them. So these are brushes. Okay. Basically, these are just brushes. Okay. From them, they are dropped in here and conveyed up and dropped into the hopper. This is a special machine that does the separation of the peel from the pulp. So once again, in this factory, we do not physically peel or we do not use knife to peel the pineapples. This machine does that. So what it does is that once it receives the pineapple from the hopper, there's a mechanism to split the pineapple into two, and then the pulp is scooped from the back. So the peels are dropped in here, and then the pulp received will go into this one for pressing. At the point of cutting, there's juice. Yeah. At the point of squeezing, there's juice. And at the final end, where they do the fine press, there's juice. So from this level, we have 3 pipes going up there, and they are carrying juice. Every other thing is shed off as byproduct or waste. So we have only the juice going, so finished. Wow. I have to mention that this is the only point at which we have a human contact with what we do here. Okay. Once the squeezing is done and they go up the pipe, it is only tubular work. We don't see it anywhere. That is how come our process is such that we cannot add anything, not even water. So the squeezing happens here.
The machine just takes everything and does
it takes the peels off, it gets the pulp, it squeezes the pulp, and then into juices, and they are up here, and then going into the tanks, and that is all. We take it through a system called a UHT, or pasteurizing, to get it to stay longer. Okay. And that pasteurizing process also kills any undesirable microbials, etc. Okay. So from here, we run through the tanks. We're doing pineapple, 3 variants. One is a pineapple juice, that's pineapple raw. We have another variant, that's pineapple mixed with ginger. And yet another one, the tropical, that is a pineapple mixed with
other fruits,
citrus and passion fruit.
Okay, nice.
That is yet to come.
Oh,
we are doing the second one. So these are the mixing tanks.
Okay.
So it comes in here, picks the ginger, adds the ginger. The ginger is also taken from ginger itself.
Okay.
So we don't do any artificial stuff here. You know, when you do natural pineapple, they stay, and after some time you see a certain separation.
Yeah.
Okay. So because we are packaging our juices in boxes, that is opaque, and the eye cannot see the juice itself. You wouldn't want people to be drinking and having funny residuals in your mouth, so you have to shake it. So the box says shake well. But because it is such that it is opaque, so if you shake, how well have you shaken? You don't know. So we have invested in this system called the homogenizer. Okay. What it does is to bond the various components, or what the juice with the residue of fiber, with the ginger, everything. So this one, what you would otherwise shake, the effect that you get by shaking the bottle to have it mixed. Okay, this machine does it mechanically so that it can stay for so long without that separation. Okay, so this is what we call the homogenizer, and that is what it does.
So basically the drinks can stay for a longer shelf life?
Sure, very long, 6 months plus. Okay. Although it is natural and with no additives.
And how long did it take you to build this factory?
So we started the factory proper. We started somewhere in June, July of 2018, and by July of 2019 we had finished.
Oh wow!
So finally we have a product. This is the packaging. 36 of them in a carton. We're selling each quarter liter. That's the 250 ml for 2 cedis.
Okay.
2 cedis.
That's good.
So basically we are doing about 8 cedis per liter.
Wow! And
but this is natural
juice.
This
is a huge investment.
Sure.
Absolutely huge investment. For people in the diaspora that want to invest, are they able to do that?
Sure. We are expecting to be working at full capacity with about 5,000 acres. Currently, we've done around 1,200 acres. We're still inviting investment in this area. There's this company called Crop Estates Ghana Limited, which has approached us and is doing something very wonderful that fits into the question you're asking. Okay. So they are acquiring lands around this place. We advise that people grow the pineapples around this area because of the dynamics of pineapple. It shouldn't be too far from here because we process fresh, right from harvest. So if you are very far off, it takes a long time to get here. The bricks level at which we will harvest will change. So this company is doing others, but for us, what it is doing is that it has acquired land. Okay. So it's inviting investment. So people can now invest in, say, an acre of pineapple. Okay. The company will receive whatever arrangement with you as, say, a premium. They contract another company that does the farming. They have insurance from Ghana Agriculture Insurance Pool, GAIP, which insures your yield. So you become the first payee or the last loss payee. So if there's any loss and somebody should suffer a loss, you, the investor, are the last.
The last person. That's good.
If there's anything to come, you are the first. Aha. So for me, this is the safest kind of investment because your yield is guaranteed and it's physical. Yeah.
So for somebody in the diaspora, they can actually do farming without actually doing farming, if you know what I mean, being on the ground.
Sure.
So they can just invest their money and the investment will work for them.
Sure. So that's the idea of this crop estate arrangement, is to get people to be farmers without physically being farmers. However, it is secured in the sense that you are given a plot, documented plot. So for the duration of your arrangement, at least you have a leasehold to the land.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yes, to the land. So that's quite physical. Okay. And then they do the farm practices for you. Whatever you're doing is captured in whatever arrangement they have with you and whatever payments you make. So you don't need to be paying workers here and there.
They will do everything.
They will do everything. And it's professional.
Then
yes. But they have contracted another company called Farm Direct Ghana Limited. We have worked with them on some of our farms and we know how well they do in agric. So they are the practical workers or the working company. The crop estate is the management one, and then there's insurance to secure your investment. So it's a very safe investment. This is an investment you can visit.
Yeah.
So for example, every weekend you can pick your family and say, let's go to my farm. And you have your workers there, you're not paying on a daily basis because they are doing everything for you. But it is your farm for as long as the investment runs, and your yield is your returns are secured.
That's fantastic.
Yes, yes.
What have been some of the highs and lows of, doing this business?
Okay, so for the business, we have just come. So, I mean, we have just come in, we're enjoying whatever is happening, so we'll not even talk about the lows. Before we got to this level, there was a lot of skepticism, and we received a lot of bash about things not happening, etc. So I should say we suffered bad press.
Before you even started?
Before we started. We knew what we're doing. Most of the people saying all sort of things about our company, our project, etc., had not even called to ask what our timelines were, what we were doing, etc. But for example, somebody comes and says, I've been there, there's nothing happening. There's a building, yes, but it's not. All of those talks, they were sometimes, it was disheartening. In the initial stages, we lost friends.
Wow.
Yes, because it was like, you come up, you want to do a project like this, you are shown to the world, and then months down the line, everybody thinks there's nothing happening.
Yeah.
It calls your integrity into question, your competence into question, etc. But we knew that we're going to, because we had some timelines we were working with. For example, when we began, we knew we had to grow a lot of pineapples, because building, as I mentioned to you, factories are all over Italy. So for me, if you talk about factory, it's not something that it's not rocket science.
Yeah.
It's nothing. It's a building. Okay, if you talk about processing, we have local processing machines. We have machines all over. So for me, those ones were not big issues. The bigger issues were the raw materials, because with the machines, if we didn't get these machines, we're going to get some other machine. If we're not doing it in this building, we're going to do it somewhere else. We could do anything. But with the pineapples, you cannot conjure pineapples. Yeah. It has to be pineapples. And we had said that we're going to do natural juices. So, I mean, we had to grow pineapples. Yeah. There was no other way. We couldn't build a factory and later go to get some liquid from somewhere or some chemical from somewhere to come and mix. It was pineapples. Yeah. So we said, you know what, let us get into this pineapple. Grow the pineapples. Pineapples take long to mature. So what will be your hurry in putting up a building so people will clap for you? Then you close the building and we'll be waiting for your pineapples. We said no. And people didn't understand this. So they were like, we've been there 4 or 5 months down the line. There's nothing happening. So it is one of the lies. Nothing is going to happen. So at some point we were like, okay, let us just keep quiet and deliver.
Yeah, keep focused.
So one Friday evening, our machine started pushing out the juices.
Hey.
And proudly, we took shots of it. And then by next morning, it was all over social media. Fantastic. And then it was like, is it really happening? How did it happen? Wow. We thought you've been off for about 1 year, nobody's heard of anything.
But you were working underground.
Sure,
you were working.
sure. So you see the kind of farm. For me, the building and the machines are not a big deal. It's the raw material. But you can have a factory, you can have the machinery. If you don't have a raw material, you don't have a factory.
It's true.
Yeah, and that's what we have done.
So the proudest moment was getting these out.
But that day,
how did you feel?
That day I was so happy. But one proud moment for me was one morning when I got up and somebody sent me a link about a Dr. Nyakote or something, just about a month ago, who had tasted our juice. He said he bought it somewhere on Akosombo Road and did a very beautiful write-up on EKUMFI pure juice and the benefits of pineapple. Wow. For me, I was so proud. Wow. So I had to repost on Facebook and say, this is a proud moment for me. I don't know him from Adam. Yeah. Somebody else showed me a post by Manasseh Azore that he's tasted EKUMFI pure juice and it's the best juice he's ever tasted. So he sent me the post and I say, see, these are people I don't know.
You're making impact.
Sure.
You're making impact.
Sure. So when I hear some of these, I am very happy and proud. Yes.
And you've created jobs.
Sure. So on the factory floor alone, we had projected that around this time we're going to do around 150 people, as I mentioned, because of COVID protocols. Currently, we are doing around 65 on the factory floor alone, aside those working outside the factory itself. Mm-hmm. There are others working outside the factory, like the cleaners, like the janitors, etc. On the farms, we're doing around 400, because we have 19 sites, and then they are between 20 and 25 per site. So we're doing around
about 400 farmers.
So now we are inching close to 500.
Nearly 500
yes,
farmers.
on our bill.
And then
on our bill, the total.
On our bill, the total.
Sure.
Wow.
Sure.
That's a lot of people.
Sure. But that's even because of course, because very soon we should have been on our second shift. Sure. So that would mean recruiting some more,
Okay.
and some more when we are doing the full shift.
Absolutely
Sure.
amazing. It's pretty hot in here because I'm in a factory. So let's have a look. So we've got pineapple and ginger, and then we just have pineapple.
Sure.
Can I taste them?
Sure, sure.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll taste the pineapple first. Tastes just like outside.
Just like we took on the farm,
Just
from,
like
from the pineapple itself.
Just like the farm, okay. It's also good. Guys, you have no excuse to be in a diaspora. There is opportunities in the motherland. And like Kobby said, you can own a farm without actually being in Accra.
Sure.
You can just invest and your money will work for you.
Sure.
And one day you can bring your children and say, this is my farm.
Sure.
And have a proud moment and know that your money and investment is working for you. I'll encourage all of you to make that bold step and invest back home in Africa.